I'm Evan Bogart, and you're listening to Maine Pod Girl.
Hey, welcome to Maine Pod Girl, a podcast made by Popheads for Popheads. Every episode, we'll be diving into all kinds of pop culture topics with some of our favorite artists and music commentators. I'm your host, AJ Marks. And I'm honored to introduce today's special guest. You may know him from his work in crafting pop Bibles such as Emotion and Blackout, or maybe you know him from writing songs you grew up with on Disney Channel, whether that was Ashley Tisdale, Bridget Mendler, or the Victorious or Teen Beach movie soundtracks. Or maybe you know him from his work on iconic hits like SOS by Rihanna and Halo by Beyoncé. He's a Grammy Award winner who's also discovered some of the biggest names in music, such as Eminem, Lizzo, and Maroon 5. He's also a film producer, making the film Spinning Gold last year and the upcoming movie musical trilogy Verona. There are plenty more things that I could talk about in this intro, but I will just leave it for the conversation. So without further ado, I give you Evan Bogart. So let's start off with what we're listening to. Evan, do you want to go first, or do you want me to go first?
You go first.
My best friend just showed me this song by BB No Money called It Boy, and I really, really love it. It spells out things kind of in like the Fergie way, which is I'm always a fan of because I'm a huge fan of Fergie. Yeah, I'm also listening to a lot of Teddy Swims. I love Bad Dreams and Hammer to the Heart and the cover of You're Still the One. I think of Teddy Swims vocally as if like Adele and CeeLo Green had a baby, or if like someone put like a CeeLo Green filter over Adele's timbre. Like it really feels like I'm listening to both of those artists at the same time.
Wow, that's really cool.
What about you?
Oh man, I really like Charlie XCX's album. Charlie's album is awesome. There's a producer-writer that we publish at my company named Keto, who's got this EP out called BIMU, and this song called Take Your Vibes and Go, which is amazing. You have to listen to it. You have to listen to it. It's amazing. I am, because it's October, listening to a ton of Halloween music. And I make Halloween music, as you can see from my hat that says Halloween Forever.
Hell yeah.
I have a full Halloween side project with a bunch of big songwriters. And so I have a playlist that's something like 55 hours of Halloween music.
Wait, can you send that to me, please?
Yeah. So it originally started off with a 24/7. Like the idea behind it was like, we're going to make a playlist that you could put on at midnight on when the 31st starts, and it plays all the way until midnight at the end of the 31st.
Yeah.
And we just keep adding to it. Now it's like you could probably put it on 3 days before Halloween.
Oh my God. No, that's incredible. Some of my favorite Halloween memories are like my parents would play on this like spooky like sound effects thing when we would hand out candy. And I would like actually get scared at the music, and it was awesome.
So so the songs I'm listening to right now, a lot of them are like Ghost Town by the Specials, Somebody's Watching You, Rockwell, Werewolf in London, Warren Zevon. Lots of Halloween-esque theme songs. Bow Wow Wow, I Want Candy, obviously.
Perfect. Yep.
B-52's Planet Claire.
The Bat for Lashes song, What's a Girl to Do?
Sure.
That was used in the intro for Scream Queens. Yeah, but like Lovecraft stuff, like it's just iconic. I need it to be like a movie or a TV show one day, you know?
We're working on it, man. We're actually working on it.
All right. Never mind then. I'm being fed.
That's actually in the works. Where hopefully something happens with it, but we're working on it.
Okay, hell yeah.
Yeah.
So I also love Halloween like so much. Do you have any costume suggestions for this year? Because I just made my Halloween plans, but I don't have a Halloween costume.
So like I'm always Harry Potter. I've been Harry Potter for like probably 15 years now.
Yeah. Okay.
On actual Halloween, I'm Harry Potter. If there's like a themed party that I go to, it switches up based on the theme party that I go to.
Okay.
My wife and I went to a Halloween party one year as a Perrier bottle and a Fiji bottle because the weekend before, I think it was like Kanye and like Lil Peep or something. They performed on SNL dressed like that. And then people were like, what are you? And I'm like, from like SNL. And people were like, you're just water bottles? And I was like, never mind. Like no one got it. Like, so sometimes you like pick the wrong one, but like, I'll switch it up every year depending, for different events and parties. Like one year we went as like a minion and a banana.
That's so sweet. Oh, so you like the kind of like fun, cheeky costume. I like the scary costumes.
I've done some scary stuff before too.
So when you're not writing some of the biggest hits in the world, you are celebrating Halloween.
Maybe 75, 25% chance that any given day of the year I'm wearing some article of clothing that's Halloween themed.
Oh, I love that. That's great.
So I was a huge American Horror Story fan. I'm obsessed with American Horror Stories. I think Ryan
Yeah.
Murphy's a genius. I've started actually watching Grotesquerie on FX.
Okay, I haven't seen this. I only found out about this like 2 days ago, but isn't it just like basically like an American Horror Story?
Yes, exactly. I feel like I'm watching American Horror Story, but a really good season of it. And by the way, with all new actors, right? Because like
Yeah.
at some point it's like it's the same actors over and over again in every American Horror
course.
Story, which is fine. I like the rehashing of it.
Yeah.
But this is like blank slate, and it's really like American Horror Story at its best.
Anyway, we should get into music a little bit more because I have so
Sure.
much to go over with you. Seeker music is incredible. I'm like interested in all these things that you have going on with that. And correct me if I'm wrong, but Seeker's Sample Moose platform had a connection to creating the biggest song of the year so far, which is Shaboozey's A Bar Song Tipsy. Can you explain for the listeners a little bit more about that process and how Sample Moose fosters the art of flipping an older song on its head?
I started writing music as like a producer and like a rapper when I was like a kid, you know, like I wanted to be like DJ Premier and I wanted to be in a Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul. Like I was like a total 90s hip hop head, and I really like wanted to be that, you know, like, and so when I ended up many years later writing my own first hit, having my own first hit, it was also where I flipped an older song.
Mm-hmm.
And like I grew up as somebody who was a crate digger and was totally into sampling. Like everything I did, I studied sampling. I studied, you know, people like DJ Premier and RZA and Prince Paul and all of these, you know what Q-Tip was doing, and a lot of pioneers in hip hop who were like really mastered the art of sampling and taking like 3, 4, 5 different samples and making it sound like one original song. And so it was no secret that like when I had an opportunity to have my own success and I had my own first hit, it was a song where I took a song that I loved growing up, which was Tainted Love, and flipped it into a new hit, which became SOS for Rihanna. So when we started Seeker and we were looking at acquiring older catalogs, you know, for me, it was like I was only going to do that if I was able to acquire songs that I love. At Seeker, when we buy older catalogs, it's really about passion plays, right? And it's about thinking about what would we do with them. Well, part of what we would do with them is flip them, right? And like I love sampling, right? So it's like I'm crate digging and being able to acquire these rights and get to work with these songs that are like legendary songs that I, you know, would have loved to work with. And we started this platform where we've been getting a ton of records flipped into new records and really thinking about, would these records be great to sample or interpolate or become new records before we buy them? And one of them happened to be a song called Tipsy by Jaquan, which has now become Shaboozey, A Bar Song.
And that's fucking incredible. Like even just the little things that like I love Tipsy by Jaquan, but and I love the Shaboozey song too, but when I was listening to Shaboozey song, like I had to listen to it 4 or 5 times to realize certain even lyrical choices or certain like rhythmic choices were lifted from the original too. And it's like it's not just the line, you know, everybody in the bars getting tipsy, everyone in the club's getting tipsy. It's
almost the whole chorus.
And I think that's the beauty of interpolating a song like gracefully, if that makes sense.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I think my favorite times when people flip songs are when they take something and they interpolate it and they create something new and fresh out of it. There was a song I wrote for an artist named Bridget Mendler. Do you know who Bridget Mendler is?
Do I know Bridget Mendler? I was going to ask you about Bridget Mendler. That album is fucking incredible.
Incredible.
Yes.
Right? Incredible.
And you're talking about Ready or Not, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Well, I'm saying, so for me, like to go and take the Delphonics song Ready or Not, which of course I grew up, probably the first time I ever heard the Delphonics song Ready or Not was probably because the Fugees flipped it for Ready or Not, right? And then discovering it as a sample head, discovering the original Ready or Not from the Delphonics, and then taking that and interpolating that for Bridget, you know, with Bridget. That's my brand. That's how I like it. So it's very similar to what Shaboozey did with Tipsy, right? It's a very similar approach for the chorus, taking something that was nostalgic and beloved and flipping it into a new meaning and a new song, right? And I think those are the types of flips or samples or interpolations that I love. And it was similar to what I did with SOS with Tainted Love.
Yeah, when I was learning songs on the piano, when I was first learning piano, I would take songs that I liked and I would learn the chords to them. and then I would learn the original song, but then I would change some of the chords, change some of the words, change the meaning of the song, and I would like rewrite it but keep like that general structure. That was how I like really would exercise writing songs instead of starting from scratch, just taking the elastics of something else, taking the bones of something else and putting new meat on it. And I always thought that was like such a fun way to do it. And you know what? I worked with this producer and I made like 4 versions of the Mario Winans song, I Don't Want to Know. I remade that song like 4 times. And on the 4th time, I remember I really felt like I got it. And I pay attention to the Billboard charts, right? But I don't listen to every single song as soon as it comes out. And Creepin' was like a really big hit that week. And I was like, it took me a couple weeks to get around to it. And I listened to it and I went up to my producer and I was like, you know that song that we've been working on? Because I said it had hit potential to like be a hit again if it was remade. It was already remade by The Weeknd. So we got to scrap that.
It's so funny.
It's funny. It's like sometimes you just know. And if anything, it was just validating. I was like, oh, yeah, I knew there was something.
You were on
there.
it. You were on it.
Yeah.
You knew it. You knew it. That's amazing.
Yeah, so I have a game for you actually related to this. Okay. It's a game called Popheads Gone Viral. So nowadays, obviously, so many older songs are going viral and even climbing into the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100. So I'm going to give you some songs that I think could go big in the charts once again through 4 different methods. Are you ready to make these songs go to the top?
Okay, yeah.
So the first song is Hung Up by Madonna. So there are 4 options, and these will be the same 4 options for all these songs, but you can select things multiple times. So the first one is a funk version.
Okay.
Right? The second one is interpolated in a Tyla song. I randomize these, and it makes it so much more fun. The third one is inspired by the Christina and Sabrina collabs recently, the multi-generational anniversary remix.
But who's the collab?
You get to decide. And the fourth one is featured in a jukebox musical. So Hung Up by Madonna.
It's the collab.
It's the collab? Okay.
Yeah.
And who would you do like a multi-generational collab with?
Chapel Roan.
Chapel Roan on Hung Up? Okay.
Just sounds like
I love that.
People would be interested in that. I think it sounds I think it sounds interesting.
It does sound interesting. I was thinking more like, I was connecting them with Stuart Price. I was thinking like Dua Lipa, maybe, but like Chapel Roan, I feel like, oh my God, I would love to see her on that style of song, on that beat.
Chapel just feels newer to me.
Yeah.
I thought Dua at first, but then I thought Elton. So I was like, no, not Dua. Could have been Sabrina, but then Sabrina already did. And so I was just trying to think like, who's the other one who is like right now, who could help blow a song up? To me, it's Chapel.
I fully agree.
Also, like a Chapel Madonna performance together just seems like something people want to see.
I'm the people. It's me.
Especially Madonna's making a dance record now. I don't know. It just feels like it could also just be like not the original too, right? So I don't want to say funk version, but like it could still be like a new remix version, but with Chapel.
Yeah. Yeah. Something more similar to Super Ultra Modern Graphic Girl, where it's a little bit more like upbeat.
Sure. Yeah. I would definitely put tempo to it.
Yes.
And then put Chapel
on
it. Yeah.
Okay, so you're going with Chapel. I'm gonna pick one too. I actually really like that, so I'm gonna follow you with that. The next one is "Be Without You" by Mary J. Blige.
That's a flip.
It's a flip in a Tyla song. Yeah, I could see that.
Definitely. That one is like due for a flip right now. Like I wish I owned that song. I would get that flip right now.
Yeah. Well, all these songs, I actually feel like these are obviously huge songs, but they're just like, you got to find a song that's like big and people will recognize it and remember it, but like just enough where they're not thinking about it every day. So it's
yeah. Be Without You is definitely a flip.
Yeah.
It's definitely Tyla.
Yeah, it's not like Crazy in Love where people are like definitely not forgetting that song on a day-to-day basis. Be Without You is incredible. Okay, what about Break the Ice by Britney Spears?
Jukebox musical.
You would pick Jukebox musical? It would be like that first scene, right, where it's like...
I think it's a jukebox musical, and it's a show about paparazzis. It's like TMZ, the jukebox musical.
Yes.
And it's about like these like up-and-coming photographers who moved to LA, and like they had aspirations of being like film directors, they're friends, but like it's not going to happen for them. Like they're trying to, but in the meantime, they do like photography for like TMZ. And it's right when Britney's having her like meltdown, where like she's like shaved her head and like she's hitting people with like a umbrella and shit.
It's a
Um,
2007 period piece.
it's a 2007 period piece about two aspiring filmmakers who have to make ends meet as paparazzi photographers.
Oh, and then you also have like the lawmakers come in, you know, because there was that law that was passed against
Mhm.
paparazzi that year. So you have the people. It's like Rock of Ages, like how they were.
Mhm.
They had
Yeah,
like the mayor. Interesting. Oh, okay. All right. So it's like a 2007 Rock of Ages. I feel like Circus has to go in there too.
yeah. There's a whole bunch of songs from that era that go in there.
The last one is "Ring My Bell" by Anita Ward.
Yeah, funk, easy.
Funk version. It's already kind of
It kind of
funky.
is, right? Yeah. So like, but I'm saying like a new funk version. So like Purple Disco Machine
Yeah.
funk
Yeah.
version of it. Yeah, like they're kind of funk, like even Daft Punk or something. I don't know,
Oh, I would love a Daft Punk "Ring My Bell." That's so good.
with like the robot voice and the whole thing, right? So like I think it's that.
I'd stream the shit out of that. Wow. Wow. Yeah, you got a mind for this. I was gonna say
You can flip it too.
Tyla for that,
Yeah,
but
you can flip it too.
you could do Daft Punk featuring Tyla. There you go.
Daft Punk featuring Tyler, flipping it. I think Will Smith actually did interpolate that at one point.
Really?
I think so.
Doesn't mean it can't be done again. There are samples of samples of samples now.
We have songs in our catalog that get sampled every month.
That's awesome.
We had this one song called Freak Like Me by Dina Howard that got sampled one year twice by Megan Thee Stallion in two different songs.
I have another game for you called This or That, and I've been so excited.
I love This or That. Okay, yeah. I'm a big This or That fan.
Okay, so you know it. Okay,
you
cool.
prefer this or you prefer that, right? Like that
Yeah,
kind of thing?
yeah. It's inspired by those like viral clips where she's like, "Oh, Selena Gomez," because she's been through so much and she's still singing, kind of thing.
Right. You can get with this or you can get with that.
I'm gonna name two songs that you wrote, and you have to tell me which is your personal favorite.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
It's a big discography flex.
No, I'm in it.
Okay. Classic by MKTO or Tonight Tonight by Hot Shell Ray?
Oh, it's such a hard one. Oh man, that is definitely like picking your favorite child. I have to go with classic, but it's so close and it's literally a tie. It's literally a tie. There's merits to both of them, but I had to go with classic because MKTO was mine and E-Man's project. And so I feel like a little slightly more invested because it was something that we created from scratch. Where Hot Shell Ray, even though we helped break them with Tonight Tonight, it wasn't ours. So like there's a slight more emotional investment in MKTO.
Okay, perfect. So now classic or J-Ho by A.R. Rahman and the Pussycat Dolls?
Classic, easy.
Okay. Classic or Everybody by Britney Spears?
Classic, but like it's kind of tight to have a song on Blackout.
Yes. Classic or It Girl by Jason Derulo?
Man, I was gonna say that earlier when you said you were listening to It Boy. I was like, oh, like It Girl.
Oh yeah.
Still classic.
Okay, classic or Take You There by Sean Kingston?
Oh, dude, this is crazy. Classic.
Okay, classic or Ready or Not by Bridget Mendler?
Oh, this is so hard. Oh man. Honestly, I gotta go Ready or Not because I don't know, like that Bridget album. It's classic is so personal to me, and I love classic. I feel like I'm disappointing Tony and Malcolm right now, but that Bridget record, man, that album is honestly one of the most unsung, greatest albums ever made.
Thank you, and her music afterwards has just been as stellar, but like in a totally different way. She is such a mastermind, and I'm so proud of all the stuff that she's doing now. Like
insane. Someone asked me, was I surprised by it? And I'm like, I mean, how could you not be surprised by it? I mean, I'm not surprised because I think she was one of the greatest writers I've ever been in the room with. Like watching her write songs was like just insane. Like her brain just works in crazy ways. So I'm not surprised, but like I don't think I saw all of this happening. So I guess I am surprised.
So Ready or Not or Water Me by Lizzo?
Ready or Not.
Okay. Ready or Not or He Said She Said by Ashley Tisdale?
Oh, this is a good one. Oh my God. I don't know. I mean, I kind of like my head says Ready or Not, but my heart says He Said She Said.
Dude, He Said She Said was one of my first songs that I like deeply love.
It's the only song in existence between my first two early collaborators and me. Me, a producer named J.R. Rodham, and Ryan Tedder. It's the only song that all three of us did together. It's the only one.
Wow. Actually, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah. And the demo of He Said She Said is Ryan doing it, which is amazing.
Do you still have it?
Yeah, of course.
Can you send it to me? I promise I won't leak it.
Ryan doing the whole rap thing.
Wait, I'm sorry, can you please send that to me?
Yeah, I'll find it. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so Ready or Not or He Said, She Said?
Just because of the nostalgia aspect of it, I gotta go He Said, She Said.
Okay, He Said, She Said or Black Heart by Carly Rae Jepsen?
He Said, She Said. All of these have incredible stories, by the way. You're just the minute you mention the song, like the whole story comes to my head. It's funny.
He Said, She Said or Reflections by The Neighborhood?
He Said, She Said. But you know what? The interesting Reflections from the Neighborhood's kind of blown up. It's kind of crazy. That song has over like 500 million streams, but it's like a back of the album cut ballad. Like what?
Yeah.
Like that song kind of blew up. It became like a big thing on like TikTok.
Right. Okay, that makes sense.
And there's like a handful of songs that I've written like on my own. Ross Lynch from Teen Beach Movie 2, which became like a thing on TikTok and actually has
that was the next one.
Song.
He Said, She Said or On My Own from Teen Beach Movie 2.
Definitely He Said, She Said. I love Ross and I love R5, but definitely He Said, She Said.
Yeah, we've had Ross on the show before. I love Ross too. He was awesome. He Said, She Said or SOS by Rihanna?
SOS.
Okay, and now we're SOS by Rihanna or Hurricane by Bridget Mendler?
SOS, although Hurricane is a jam.
Hurricane is even better than Ready or Not, dare I say.
Agreed.
Hurricane is a force of nature, no pun intended. SOS by Rihanna or Halo by Beyonce? This is the final two.
I know, but like, how do you even choose between that? I mean, they're both songs that changed my life and for different reasons, right? One song saved my life and one song changed my life. It's really hard to choose between those two. Can I just say that one's a tie?
That is totally okay. Rihanna and Beyonce tying, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you for playing This or That.
No, so fun.
I've never played this game on the show before, but this just felt like the perfect opportunity to usher it in. So thank you so much.
Yeah, that was so fun.
Just want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Like, yeah, of course.
I'm like hugely appreciative.
This is so fun, by the way. This is like incredible. I love your show. It's so much fun.
Thank you.
Yeah, I forgot we were even on a show. I thought we were just hanging and talking. Like that's how it felt.
I do that too, honestly, sometimes. Thanks again to Evan for coming on the show, and thank you so much to Noah for the theme music. Make sure to rate and review us wherever you listen to podcasts, and we'll see you in the next one.